Welcome, everybody, to the Remodeler Show. Hope you are doing well. My name is Kyle Hunt. I'm your host of the Remodeler Show. Sometimes when people give like host, I'm a husband, dad of 4, and a business owner. I run a business called Remodel Your Marketing. I've been doing it for going on 13 years. I love what I do. Very shortly after I started my business, I put my flag in the ground and said, you know what? I am only going to work with remodelers. The reason I was interested in that area of business is not because I have any skills whatsoever when it comes to doing remodeling work, although I can paint pretty well. The reason is out of college, I got a job by some entrepreneurial things, and this happened, and I would say providentially, I got connected with a guy who runs a business here in Michigan that does plumbing, heating, cooling, and remodeling. And I managed his marketing and advertising efforts. I managed a bath and kitchen showroom with 4 designers and got some good experience on the financial side of a remodeling business. And then I turned to my wife and I said, honey, you're a stay-at-home mom. We got one kid, another one on the way. It's a crappy economy here in Michigan and no money in the bank to fall back on. And I want to quit my job and start my own business. And here we are, 12 years later. I have this up on the screen. We're going to do a remodeler show today that is focused on sharing some things that I've been noticing and that I like, and just some really good, interesting examples over the last month or so. And I was clicking around the different tabs that I have open, and I thought, well, if this just says, "Are you awesome?" ? People will stop and want to watch today's show. And hello, I see a couple likes. Bram, hello. Rhonda, hello. Let me know you're out there. And as I go through these, if you see one that you really like make sure you note that in the old comment section, if you would. So again, what we're doing today is we're just going to go through all of these tabs that I have open, and I have done some 5P, proper preparation prevents poor performance. And we're going to go through each, and hopefully you'll be kind of inspired by one or more of these examples that you see. And also there's some coaching in here as well. I'm going to sit on that 5P thing just for a moment though. I have a Remodeler Circle meeting tomorrow. It is with a group of 6 remodelers that are non-compete around Michigan. And we have had this group going for probably 6 years or so. I lead it, I facilitate it, and it's a mastermind group of non-compete remodelers. It's a beautiful group from a standpoint of there's just been some tremendous relationships and friendships and guys in the group going out to Colorado to go skiing, etc. And we do these meetings from 8:30 to 3:30 every other month. At least we're getting back to it now that we're feeling comfortable socially distancing and do it in person again. And one thing I did this morning was there's a couple of the guys in the group that that's how they work with me, is just being part of that group. And I said, you know what? I haven't checked in with them in a little while. And I talked to each of the other guys and just got caught up on, hey, what are you looking for out of tomorrow's meeting? Hey, can you bring something for a little bit of show and tell time? You know, what would a good meeting look like for you tomorrow? And just how's business going? And I feel so much more prepared, ready to go. I'm going into that meeting 5P'd. I know exactly what's on people's minds. I've already talked to everybody else. We've got a strong agenda. I'm excited. When I go into those meetings and I haven't 5P'd, it's stressful. I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know why they're here, what they're needing today. So this is just a reminder, that 5P thing, it's stressful when you go into that pre-construction meeting, when you go into that presentation for design, whatever meeting you have coming up. You go into a meeting where you're having a hard conversation with an employee. If you haven't prepared, that's where stress comes from. You've got to work hard and be diligent to prepare for these meetings because 1, it's just more enjoyable, and 2, they go so much better when you do that. So there's a little tip for you. What this is from a gentleman named Robert Michon. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know him super well. We've talked several times. He's a super, super smart business coach. Doesn't work with remodelers, but we got connected years ago. He's here in Michigan. And the gist of what this is, he does a lot of training related to sales teams. And he's highlighting here, 1, he has a lot of recordings. As he's training a sales team, he does a lot of recordings. This example are people that do their selling via the phone. Again, not remodelers, but here's the big takeaway. He has seen the percentage of time that the salesperson is talking on the phone versus the prospect. He's measuring that. The reporting he has measures that. And he said, ooh, we've got some major improvement. And what major improvement looks like is that the percentage of time that the salesperson is talking has been going down, and the percentage of time that the prospect is talking has been going up. If you are doing the majority of the talking on an initial phone call or meeting with a prospect, you're doing it wrong. You need to be asking more questions. Obviously, there's some prospects that are pain in the butt and they give one-word answers, even though you ask beautiful, open-ended questions. But oftentimes, we're naturally going to talk more than the prospect is. So this is a skill and also just something to be aware of. If when you reflect back on that initial call and you did the majority of the talking, chances are you're not asking enough questions. You're not asking open-ended questions. People like to hear themselves talk. Maybe that's why I do the Remodeler show multiple times a week. I don't know. I have to look at some self-awareness on that. But there, what's interesting is like, our question rate is up from 42 to 92. Longest monologue is down from 222 to 116. That is a tip for you guys. Pay attention. Sometimes we can drone on and go and answer a question and it takes us 3 minutes. Start answering the question, get some thoughts out, and then stop and ask a question. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions on that? Okay, cool. Let's keep going forward. This is Sales 101. This is being aware of how we communicate. And this is the big takeaway, hopefully, from this tab is we're not asking enough questions. Get that prospect, get that client talking. Same thing when it comes to managing your team in the field. If you're trying to teach your team in the field something and you're doing the majority of the talking, you're not asking enough questions. Okay, so hopefully that is a good one. Not a single person has commented yet. You out there, people? Laurel just liked to post. Cool. All right, so that was one. Next tab here. When people, and I'll close out of them as we go. And when we get to the end of the 30 minutes or the end of these tabs, we'll be done for the day. As people request to join Remodelers community, they have to answer 3 questions. Are you a residential remodeler? What's your website address? And how did you hear about us? Because the majority of the people that request to join the Remodelers community, I actually don't let in. Not because I'm not nice, but because I want to keep the quality of the people very high. There was a gentleman who requested to join, it was about a month ago. I don't know him. I don't know his name. I do know his business is Coal Ridge Construction. But when I clicked on his website to see if he'd be a good fit for the free Facebook group, I saw a couple things that I highlighted. I really like this. He's got good copywriting. You'll love this tool we use. When you go to his homepage, he's not saying, we do this, we do this, we do this. Even the way that that heading is set up, who is he talking to there? He's talking to the prospect. You'll love this tool we use. It's called CoConstruct. It has revolutionized how you can communicate with your contractor. If you've ever lost a detail that you knew was in your important text or email, now you have all the information, timelines, dreams, ideas, and decisions in one place. The other thing I like about this is he actually took the time when he had a photographer come out to take a picture of him holding the open CoConstruct with his little logo in the background, and it's actually him holding it. That's a really nice photograph. And I think sometimes we just use the stock images and just deal with that versus, when I have a photographer out to take pictures of one of my projects, they should be taking pictures of me holding different things, me holding something with my logo in the background. It really elevates the professionalism of the marketing images that you have to use. Great thing to have on your website, great thing to have in social media posts. So keep that in mind, and also a couple of those other takeaways from that. All right, cool. Ooh, we got another like. Who is that from? Oh, hi, Michael. How are you, sir? We really should be chiming as we go through each of these tabs, but hopefully that is some good reminders. This is also on their main website. So as you're scrolling through their website, they got pictures of people, which is good. But as I was scrolling down, there's our boy Paul, looking friendly. There's the thing I was talking about. And then down here, choosing the wrong contractor will be disastrous to your family and home. You deserve all the benefits of a job done right. Discover the joy of working with a professional licensed contractor. getting some keywords in there, Abbotsford, whatever state that's in. So you can see, again, the focus on the content, the focus on what it is saying is on the prospect. It's also itching some of that challenge that so many people have in a contractor, is emphasizing, look, choosing the wrong contractor will be disastrous. It's incredibly important. So just some good copywriting I noted on here. And also, again, using images that correspond, and just a challenge for us to make sure we're not writing copy that is just focused on us and we put more of it on our prospect. So I thought that was a little bit of a best practice. What we're doing today on the Remodeler Show, folks, is simply going through a bunch of examples of things that I've seen over the last month as I've been clicking around, as I've been scrolling. I follow a lot of remodelers, and hopefully there's just some tips in here that can make you go, I could do something like that. I could improve how that looks on my website. Or what we talked about a minute ago. I hadn't even really thought about what percentage of the time I talk versus the prospect talks. I need to be more cognizant of that. I need to ask more questions. Good. Now we got a Remodeler Show going. We got a little chime going. I think so far the people are agreeing. The format of this Remodeler Show and the examples that have been used so far are great. Let's keep going. What else do we got in here? What was his company name again? I think Cole Ridge, C-O-L-E Ridge Construction. I shouldn't close these out, actually, because then we won't be able to recap them, so I'll stop that. This was from a Remodeler Show from a few weeks back. I had Dave or David, I can't remember what he likes to go from, Pollard, Chicago area, Livco. We did I would say one of my more enjoyable Remodeler Show. He's a wonderful guest. Talked just a lot about creativity and trying different things. And one of the things that he showed us, and you can go to livcompanies.com and you can click on guidebook. And he's just got this really sharp guidebook that they created. So much of this is repurposing content that they already have. So much of it is drawing more attention to their step-by-step process, highlighting their team members. And he prints these out in just really well-designed, beautiful things that he can bring out when he sees a new prospect. They can hand out at the appropriate times. I think it just elevates the look, the feel, the quality, and puts him in a little bit of a more rarefied air as far as how he looks and how he presents his business. I think it helps him build know, like, and trust. So I think there's a lot you can learn through that. Also, just take a quick peek at his homepage. During the Remodeler Show that we did, we highlighted quite a bit about this video chat, quick schedule of video chat. He's having some good success from that. And just kind of take a peek around there. And also, I was just showing, I forgot to share my screen again here as I was going through David's item here. So that's his website, and then the guidebook. Scroll back to that. You'll find on his website, you'll be able to click to it. Right, even looking at the homepage, or the cover page of that, you can see that it's sharp. All right, so that's another one. The next tab says Giftology. Giftology. I was thinking about just clicking on orders just to show you. Let's see. It's kind of risky, but let's see. What have the Hunts ordered here? Oh, we got paper. We got ink. Got to go with that. A new book for the teacher, The Listening Walk. Man, I love Amazon. They've got it figured out. But the reason I pulled this up, was that fun for you guys to see what I've bought on Amazon recently? This was a book, and actually Paul McManus, I remember he commented on somebody's post that was asking about or showing gifts at the end of a project, and he said, "Hey, read this book called Giftology: The Art and Science of Using Gifts to Cut Through the Noise, Increase Referrals, and Strengthen Retention." This was open in one of my tabs because when he posted it, and I've heard of it before as well. I'll show you that here in a second too. I've seen it before, and I thought, that's a good thing for me to download or to purchase. You know, the stinking tricky thing is I've got so many books that are on my I need to read list. So I haven't pulled the trigger this one actually, also because the hardcover is like $24. If it was 10, I probably clicked it and just bought it. So that might have given me a little pause. Kyle, you really going to read this? I want to spend $24 on this. But I share this so that you know about this book. I also share this because I think I need to be reminded, and probably people need to be reminded, try to narrow your focus down. Some people love to read 5 books at once. Maybe if that's your thing, go ahead and do it. I think most of us, myself included, need to put a little bit better plan in place of how are we learning or reading in particular. Maybe picking one business book at a time and actually getting through it. I've got 4 books over there that I've purchased over the last 4 months because they recommended it or this or that. I haven't touched them. I need to stop doing that. We need to get more focus on fewer things as a theme that I'm always talking about. And I think it also goes when you're reading. One other little app that just kind of popped up, it's called Honey, Honey. If you use Google Chrome, which a lot of you probably are, download this Honey app. If you're purchasing anything online, it pops up when you're at the checkout and you click a button and it's got this magic where it sorts through all of these different coupon codes. And more times than not, it finds a quick coupon code and saves you some money. Super easy. It's free. It's called Honey, Honey. I wonder if people are enjoying this version of the Remodelers show. It's a little different format. Rhonda did she enjoyed seeing the order history in my Amazon, but a little different format here where we're just sharing some different ideas, some examples that have caught my eye. I'd be curious if you have a takeaway so far, etc. Let's keep cruising though. This is something that I had saved, and it's just a really solid Google review from one of my clients here in Michigan, Bailey Construction in beautiful Freeland. And the reason I had this saved or open is I was encouraging Rob and Linda, my clients, how can we repurpose this? You guys just received an excellent Google review. That's awesome. Way to be purposeful with it. Way to get it. Google reviews are important. We've got to get more of them. I bet you there's a client you could text right now and say, could you do me a favor? Don't write anything else, just question mark. They'll respond back and then say, I'm really looking to secure a few more Google reviews before the end of the month. Can you help me with that? Ask for them. Follow up about it. So when we get a Google review, I want Rob and Linda to comment underneath it and reply underneath it and say, thank you so much, Mitch. Lindzewski, probably how you pronounce it. And do that. Taking a screenshot of it, that's a perfect Facebook post. We love hearing from our past clients. We loved working with Mitch on this beautiful kitchen project. Here's what he had to say about us. Put it out there. But it's boastful. No, it's not boastful. That builds some know, like, and trust, right? People, I see that those types of posts get really nice engagement. Maybe you also have a photo of their project, and along with uploading that review, you also upload a photo. You know, think about how you can repurpose this. Maybe this is also something that you put on the reviews page of your website where you've kind of taken a screenshot of it and put it right there. So just keep in mind, Google reviews are important. And then also when you get them, there's a few best practices on how you can repurpose it. Oh, I did it again. It'd be nice if I shared my screen again. Cool. So that's what this was as I was going through it. Laura says, I usually have one. She's referring to books. I usually have one that I'm reading and a different one that I listen to in the car. Cool. So if that works, that seems reasonable, right? There's certain books that work well for just listening book on tape. And then if you're reading one other one, that seems reasonable. That's better than I'm kind of trying to read 4 books and I have some on my Kindle on my phone and so more focus, fewer things. I saw this come through. This was another one that I wanted to share. It says Builder Trend Customer Badge. I think Builder Trend, Co-Construct, both of them are getting a little bit better with creating some market materials that I think are a little stronger that you might want to use. You know, to have something like this where it says we're better with Builder Trends. If I'm a prospect, I might be intrigued by that. If I'm a prospect and I just see a Builder Trend logo, okay, I don't really know what that means. But if it says we're better with Builder Trend, and then when you click on Learn More, maybe it takes you to a blog post that you have created about what Builder Trend is and why you use it, or what Co-Construct is and why you use it. It's a great, if you're using Builder Trend or Co-Construct, creating a piece of content that explains why and the benefits to your clients for it. And again, Builder Trend and Co-Construct both have some language that you could use, then you could customize it. Be sure to take advantage of that and make sure that's something that you're promoting on your website, because there's a lot of clients out there that when they see a builder and they're like, wow, these guys got their stuff together. This isn't their first rodeo. They've got a system to help with all of the communication and scheduling and approving things. They got their stuff together. That can be a big benefit. So consider that. All right, we're cruising along. Again, I'm still looking for some feedback as far as, are you guys enjoying this format? Next one from my friends out at Remodeling in beautiful York, Pennsylvania. And this was something that she just posted this morning, and it caught my eye. She's teaching. She's educating. She's showing her design skills off. Laura is. I often get asked the question of the spacing and sizing of kitchen island pendants. So here's the skinny. Oh, she's even writing and having a little bit of fun. It's good to do with your marketing, people. Loosen up a little bit. Start the row 12 inches to 15 inches in from either end of the island, and then space the pendants evenly within that span. Space pendants around 24 inches, 30 inches apart from one another, depending on style and quantity. Pendants should be at least 10 inches smaller in diameter than the width of the countertops. So she is just teaching. This is the point of, you guys can create so much more. This is documenting the process. She is documenting how she goes about designing when it comes to pendants. You know what? Somebody could use this information and do it themselves. Cool. Mazel tov. Did I use that? My Jewish friends, did I use that properly? Mazel tov. Do that. You know, but the other thing that she's doing through this is she's teaching and educating. She's adding depth and thought to how design works and how the design process works. I read this and I'm looking at somebody that knows their crap, that knows their stuff. Create more content about what you do. There's so much during the design selection process that you should be taking quick pictures. We just decided between this tile and this tile, click. The reason the client decided to go with this is because we decided it blends better, blah, blah, blah. You know, or, you know, we are trying to decide, you know, which da-da-da, or there's so many things. You know, here's an example of the 3D design. Here's a picture of one of our clients wearing the little 3D goggles. You know what they're looking at? They're looking at their project in 3D. There's so many things. Take a picture. Have somebody walk in while you're doing your next design review in your showroom with one of your clients and just take a picture of that scene. Here we are reviewing this, and share something about the story of it. Or we haven't even started by talking about what's going on out in the field. Teach and educate. There's so much there. I just get it done very often. So when I see it, it jumps out at me, and I want more of this. I want to see you guys doing more of this. More teaching, more teaching, more teaching. Document the process. Document the process. Okay. Rhonda says, way to go, Lord Deller. Queen Bee shout out. They're part of the Queen Bees Remodeler Circle. All right, good. All right, we've got 7 minutes left. I got like 7 more examples. Just going back, I had these tabs open from Dave as well, and he's creating content. Before you remodel, talk to an expert remodeling company, says expert remodeler. That's just funny, first of all. Okay, and he teaches on it. It's going to cost more than expected. It will take longer than expected. Don't let emotions get in the way. Have a budget. Spend within the scope of your property value. Always think in percentages. Beware of pricing discrimination by neighborhood. And you know, he's talking about Chicago suburbs. Lower your expectations. This one makes me really sad. I really wish Mrs. Dugan called us before embarking on the first of 4 miserable remodeling experiences. You know, so there's just, he's teaching. These are things that, hey, if you're my sister, if you're my brother, and you're thinking about remodeling, and you're in another state, and I'm advising you on what I want you thinking about, and I want to set realistic expectations, that's what this article is saying. This is good content. One other one that he linked to: 3 reasons why design plus build makes sense and why architects should care. Selling people on the design build experience. We need to create more content. We need to create more content. I'm just going to keep repeating that for years. Hope you don't get bored with it. What we got here is something from Advantage Design Plus Remodel. But this is more enjoyable. The lowest round in PGA history, highlights from Jim Furyk's remarkable 58. Jim Furyk, I tell you what, that man has got a quirky swing, yet he is one of the most consistent golfers you'll ever see. Last 2 decades, he has been a crazy, consistent golfer. He's got this big flip and flop in his swing. here's how that relates to you as a remodeler. There ain't one way to do it. There's not one right way to do it. You might be a little quirky. Your personality might be a little quirky. You might have people on your team that's a little quirky. You might do things a little bit different. There's not one right way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do it to be successful. So what else is under Jim? Oh, that's one of those videos. Oh, what else do we got in here? Whoo, we got comedians, Jordan Spieth. Ugh. Facebook vortex. Stay away from it. Advantage Design Plus Remodel. They are creating a video here. It's 3 minutes and 13 seconds long. That is Andy. He is standing next to a lead carpenter of his, or a carpenter of his. And all they're doing is, one, they're loose and they're having fun and they're teaching. They're teaching on why they're doing this in the middle, how they're prepping things for plumbing and electrical. They talk about why they have the blueprint right here. They talk about the different things they do in the ceiling. This is to make it easier when the drywall phase. They're talking about everything underneath the drywall that they do to make this project go smoother and stand the test of time. Documenting the process, showing it off. 22 likes, that ain't bad, right? Some good traction there. Create content. All right, in the final 3 minutes here, what else do we got? This I just took note of because they've got this cool tool here. They've got this cool tool here, and they needed to make some cuts right here, I think, so that they can put a board that runs parallel with it to kind of run into these. And when I clicked through and watched this, it was just really cool. They did a time-lapse thing, and it was like, boom, watch this. Zip. Adios, adios, adios. Boop. And then they install that. That's a 15-second clip. When I saw that, I'm like, these guys know what they're stinking doing. Like, how sharp is that? Look at that cool tool. Wow, they've got this going on. It was just a really cool little video. And look at that. I mean, 6,000 views. This is on LinkedIn. So I thought that was just really sharp. Show off some of the cool stinking tools you have. Explain how it works. People will be impressed. It can help you build professionalism, know, like, and trust. And it's just good content, fun content. All right, what else do we got? I hope you guys are enjoying this. I wouldn't say your engagement is off the charts, and the number of viewers is not off the charts today, but that's all right. Share in the comments if you just replay maybe one thing you saw in here that inspired you, or maybe something you might improve in your own business. Another example of content. This is Jeff Ford here in Michigan, and Jeff is talking about 3 best practices for utilize good circulation in design. When you watch this, he's showing, he's on the video. He's got a cool background. They put a little bit of effort and good effort into putting the images that show up on the screen, the wording, and he's just teaching. When we go through the design process, we're thinking about circulation. What he's really talking about is just the flow of it. He calls it circulation in design, and he's teaching. These are the things that we think about. These are the things that we're considering. These are the questions we ask you so that we understand how you use the space. And he's just teaching, educating. When I got done looking at it, I'm like, man, this guy knows his stuff. You know, these guys know what they're doing. And if I'm a prospect, again, that builds value. That builds value because it's not all about the price, people. And then this is another one that popped up for Forward Design Build. They're looking for a bookkeeper. A few pieces of content related to how are we going about recruiting. It's hard. It's hard work. We got to work hard to find good help. They have put together a nice professional video just about this position they're looking to hire. Who are we, the rest of our team? Why are we looking to hire this position? What is this person going to be doing? And they created a nice little video to promote this position they have open. They're putting effort towards finding the right person. So continue to be creative with how you're recruiting. And this last one, this is my, are you awesome? We're hiring. That just gets attention. Yeah, I'm awesome. Oh, you're hiring? I can see people sharing that. There's 7 shares right there, right? So just continue to create as you go about recruiting. That's the show for today. We probably went through like 14 different tabs, 14 different ideas to get you thinking, to continue to move you towards improving the way that you're marketing, selling, running your remodeling business. That's all I got today, my friends. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you again for the next Remodeler show on Monday of next week. Adios.